You ever had a dream that you thought was real? Welcome back to the channel. It's Daniel checking back in with the new video. Things are more messed up than ever. The system is FUBAR. And I want to talk about this. I've been seeing a lot of people talk about how messed up things are becoming, how hard it is, how the economy is crashing down. It needs to crash, it needs to burn. I agree with a lot of people about that. There's a lot of things that people have done over the past 20 years to the economy that's made it a lot worse, that they shouldn't have been allowed to do, like bailing out the big businesses and the banks, and bailing out the banks, and when the housing crash happened, and the Federal Reserve stepped in, and then outsourcing jobs, selling jobs, and just there's a ton of things they did. What else did they do? Just giving all the telemarketing jobs to other countries, and just robbing America blind, and taking away all our pensions, and just this economy is built on sticks. The economy's built on flimsy sticks and toothpicks that are gonna snap. It's not good quality money. Everything is built on not good investors. They're just greedy type of investors that inflate the stock and inflate the market with hearsay. So it's gonna burst. The bubble will burst. The sticks will snap, and if the foundation isn't good, a financial foundation isn't good, it's gonna give way. And you're seeing that now. The cracks in the wall of the financial system, and or the dam. There's cracks in the dam and the levee, and it's gonna give way. But it should have gave away a long time ago, and they were just trying to, cover it up and tape it back up and piece it up together with the unnatural inflating of the housing market and the car market and the stock market. There's a lot of things are built on each other. Security of our financial system and our stock market is built on, what do they call it? What is that word? I can't remember, but it's all just built on, a theory of how much value is in certain markets, in certain places. It's all built on equations of value, but a lot of the things they did to the stock market was built on greed, and a lot of things they did to the housing market was built on greed, just to make more money for the banks, but not give back to the American people. Take away, just keep taking away from the American people all the good things and the good opportunities and the equality. Taking away our freedom too. We've had to give all of our time to work, just to maybe have a place just to survive and have a roof over our heads. So it's all like a big facade, and that's gonna fall apart. It's a big catastrophe waiting to happen. It's not right. It's making me angry to see all of the things they've done, over the past 20 years to the economy, past 30 years maybe. Just totally, slowly manipulated our economy and took away from all our jobs and just watered everything down, and then inflated all the prices. And just slowly did us wrong and took away everything. And boomers still have been doing this for 20, 30 years and have lost touch with what really matters. There should be a moral obligation to the people. People need to revolt. There should be a revolution right about now. People should be protesting against the government right now because of the things they've allowed. The immigration problems, oh my gosh, they're just terrible. Last year, immigrants were killing people and going to jail. They were letting them out and giving them money. And I was like, what the heck is going on? Somebody gonna do something? And then finally Trump came in and threw everybody out. But there's so much damage that has been done over time that we're paying for it really bad right now. We're struggling really bad. I'm struggling. I don't know if I'm gonna make it, but we're paying for the price. We're paying the price of boomers' decisions over the past 20, 30 years, built on greed and corporate greed and the control that big business had over the government to influence them to do certain things created a bunch of problems, like bailing out the banks and the big business. They should have never did that. Government does not need to be getting involved in big business financial problems, and if they need to crash and go bankrupt, let them. If we as a country can't build ourselves back up, then something's wrong, because we're not built on just money. People can create more jobs and better opportunities. We're not built on just, certain businesses, mortgage companies, and, we're more than that. And to say just big businesses wasn't right. To take away people's pensions and wasn't right. To farm all our jobs to other countries wasn't right. To do all of these things to America, stripped it of its values and its, not its values, but its what was that? Somebody driving by, but stripped it of a lot of good qualities for the economy, a lot of the good opportunities for people. And boomers have lost touch with what really matters. And they need to be taken out of office. The boomers are not going to make good decisions for young people. And they're talking about it now, how hard it is for young people to survive and to have meaningful lives. And it seems like boomers are just raining on their parade and taking away everything and not caring at all and not showing any remorse for their actions. But they've been doing this for the last 10, 20 years, and it's just been going downhill. They haven't done anything about it, and nobody has enough power to say anything about it or do anything about it and change it, because it's nothing but boomers still in office. People are too old that are calling the shots. They need to go sit down. They've had their time in office and they're getting too old. There should be an age limit for the president and for people calling shots, because they become senile and they become, corrupted and influenced by big businesses and stuff too. So we need to protest against this. People need to speak out more, I think. People need to come together and protest, and like they're doing in London and England and stuff. Freedom of speech isn't what it used to be. People, I think, are scared to protest now because of what happens to people a lot, like with the police brutality and the violence. So people need to band together. We, the people, have to come together to change things. Believe in a democratic process. But that doesn't mean we can't make changes drastically and quickly. But yeah, there should be an age limit. There should be an age limit to everybody in government. There should be people that are more in touch with younger generations that call shots and have more power. There shouldn't be people over a certain age, over 55, 60, that are calling shots and making big changes. And we need big changes, but not these type of changes, not the stuff they're trying to do and deal with other countries. We need to fix things here. There's a lot of things that need to be fixed, and we're trying to do too much, I think, in areas that don't really matter, things that we need to steer clear of. We need to focus on the more important topics and things that need to be fixed here. I don't know why we're focused on such other things like other countries so much. I know we have to be allies with certain countries and we have to help certain countries, but it just seems like they've lost touch with what really matters, and how they don't know how to fix it now. I think they've caused so many big problems that it's become a big can of worms almost. That's what it feels like. It feels like they don't know how to fix it. They don't know what to do. And I think it all boils down, it all comes back to them trying to manipulate the economy and treat America like a business, and do too much with inflating the market and trying to invest too much government hand in the banks and the bailouts and stuff, and also investing more into our country, like bringing back some good things that we need, but it's just a lot of corruption involved in politics, and big business got their hand in everything. And then I was thinking that maybe we might be able to change the way things are if they could fix some of the problems with the financial system and the way big business has its influence, and they can fix. Don't know exactly how they can fix it, but I do know there is a way. There should be a way to fix all these problems by fixing our economy, trying to make our economy better by, I don't want to say this, but immigration, they need to fix that. They need to limit how many people come here. I think all these immigrants pouring in, working for cheap wages is a big problem. They say, they're going to do jobs that Americans don't want to do. They're also taking our jobs, and they're creating, imbalance of wages and stuff. So they're treating us like immigrants, so it's becoming imbalanced, and too many immigrants, it's just going to make Americans bitter. You're treating immigrants better than you're treating us. That's a big thing. They need to limit the people that come here, because I've seen millions of people, just like thousands of people pouring in the past year. Like they just open the gates and the floodgates open, and just tons of foreigners come in here to do whatever they want. And, you know, a lot of them are doing criminal things and causing more problems for everybody. And that's why the UK and London is rebelling and protesting against it, because they're tired of it. And, you know, they're not as big, so they have to do something. They can feel it more. I think that's become a big problem. Immigrants, criminal immigrants coming in to make things even worse. We need to cap that off, cap immigration, and protect our borders more, and then focus on creating a more balanced economy that's built on real quality work, business, and how would you say, assets, real valuable assets, like companies that have real numbers that aren't, you know, inflating numbers, and that there's just so many companies changing the numbers and trying to cheat the system. So Americans are feeling it now, you know. It's not, they just, the government needs to take emergency action to fix the economy the best, or not to fix the economy, but to maybe help people fix the economy, try to undo some of the bad decisions. I think they're trying to do that now. They're trying to rebuild infrastructure and bring back jobs that they sold away 20, 30 years ago, that they gave to other countries. And they need to fix the cost of living. Gosh, take away, fix healthcare, make it affordable healthcare, and it's just college, make affordable college again. Bring back the old things that made America great. But they said they're gonna do that, but they haven't done it. Make America great again, but they didn't do anything. They did boot out a bunch of immigrants, which I kind of like, because that was kind of cool. People were causing chaos up north in New York, and they were just letting them go. We can't keep them in jail, and we can't send them home. We're gonna give them money and a place to live. And I'm like, I'm an American, and I feel like a minority here. I'm a single white American in America, and I feel like a minority that's just barely surviving, struggling to get by. That's what we've come to right now. I'm a single man struggling to survive. Middle-aged man, a single middle-aged man struggling to survive in America. That's what America's come to. It's made me think about leaving. That's another thing. Made me think about going to another country. That's how bad it's gotten. A single middle-aged American man is thinking about leaving America. Tell me how bad that sounds. Tell me how good that sounds. Tell me why that's a problem, because it isn't worth it being here. The violence and the chaos, the mayhem, the struggles, the money problems, the bills, the suffering is ridiculous. So that's gonna be it for this video. I know that was a lot to take in, but I just had that on my mind, and I just want to talk about it because it's just getting ridiculous and crazy. Everything's becoming and more crazy. But if you want to like, comment, subscribe, try to get back to you soon, and I'll see you in the next one.